So the first question is, many people today live with constant anxiety. Why is this, and what can be done about it?
So there's both a simple answer and not a simple answer, because anxiety can be a complex issue. There can be a lot of different causes for anxiety. The simple answer, though, is really, when we're young, we're not taught that it's okay to open to whatever emotion is presenting. We have thoughts that we believe that we're good enough, not good enough, worthy, failing, inept, don't know enough, won't be successful, on, and they're fear-based thoughts. When these thoughts are left to run, when we follow these thoughts, they become background noise, and we don't really notice that the thoughts themselves are creating anxiety and fear. So there's the possibility to stop and inquire, what's going on here? What am I really feeling? Because usually anxiety, there's this sensation that's always under the surface, and what happens is then we're doing things on top to get relief. If we're willing to stop and notice that there is this sensation under the surface, that there is this anxiety, there's a possibility to open to it. Now, that may be confronting for many people, and they may need support in being able to do this. And the truth is that we're actually able to open and meet any emotion, whether it's low-level anxiety or huge terror. What it takes is a willingness to discover the truth that's here. So whether it's on our own or with support, the willingness to open to anxiety, to experience the sensation that's here without the commentary, without the story that perpetuates it, then we get to experience the deeper fear that's beneath the anxiety. As we open to this, we open to any number of other sensations or emotions that have been masked. Maybe I'll never be good enough, or I won't be lovable, or I will fail, or whatever this that keeps us in motion, that has this energy of anxiety running. So in the willingness to open here, to open to the fear, to the anxiety, to the fear, and to whatever else arises and presents, we discover there's something deeper, something wider, something vaster, something that's untouched by the emotion, something that's untouched by the sensation, and something that's untouched by the story and the thoughts that have been running. So if we're willing to stop and open, we find that our heart has the capacity to meet everything that's here, and in that there is genuine relief and peace and love, rather than masked peace and relief. Temporary peace and relief. And what I mean by that is this temporary peace and relief is dependent on a state or what we're doing or not doing. This discovery, when we're willing to really open here, this peace is permanent. This peace doesn't come and go no matter what arises in the life. So, as I said, maybe there's support that's needed, and you know, there's all kinds of support that may be needed. So I would suggest if this touches someone, you know, maybe they reach out for support if it's needed.
What exactly do you mean by open to the anxiety?
Open to the anxiety. Okay, so let's say that right here there's an experience of quavering, because anxiety is like this kind of quavering, even if the body's not shaking, and outwardly maybe it is shaking, but there's like a quavering inside, and we usually are moving away mentally or physically, emotionally or energetically. So we're usually moving into activity so that we don't have to feel this anxiety, or we're moving into pleasure, or we're fantasizing with our thoughts so we don't have to feel this. So there's any number of ways. Maybe we numb out with drugs or alcohol, sex or television or any other number of things. Even spiritual practice, you know, can be used to avoid anxiety. So to open to it means at first to stop in this moment doing all of the habitual things that you've been doing. So to stop following the thought, to stop following the fantasy, to stop indulging, to stop suppressing, and to just be here. So firstly, then we actually get to feel this quavering, whether it's outwardly shaking or inwardly shaking. So we get to feel this. And as we feel it, without telling any story about it, without moving away in any of those ways, to open to it really means to be here with this that's here. To allow this that's here. To experience this that's here. So to open to it, because what we may notice is usually we close down, that avoiding that covering really is like a closing to it. So the opening is really the willingness to be here with this and to tell the truth. There's anxiety here, speaking the truth.
Actually relax into it.
To let the body be fully present. So yes, we could use those words, to relax into it, to notice where the body is holding and guarding. So we can notice, are we holding our breath? So we might think, feel, believe that we're being here with the anxiety and opening to it, but really we're holding our breath. So if you notice you're holding your breath, soften the breath. Anxiety, there are certain areas in the body that different people hold when they're anxious. The belly is one of those areas. Now that may not be the area that somebody holds, and yet this is an example. So the belly is being held. You notice you've softened the breath, but the belly's still tight. Just soften the belly. What happens when you soften the breath? What happens when you soften the belly? Maybe it's more, maybe it's less. We have no idea. We continue to soften here. we soften even more deeply than the body, right into this moment. So soften in, open in, surrender to. We could use all kinds of words. Be with, without any storytelling. Oh, I'm anxious because. Yes, you may be anxious because, and yet if you don't tell that story and you're willing to be here and open to the anxiety, there's the possibility of discovering what's here in the heart of it. Freedom itself, peace itself, love itself. Thank you.